In these uncertain economic times, it's easy to be worried about protecting your wealth, your hard-earned savings, and your family's financial future. Plunging interest rates, the devaluating dollar, and political unrest constantly threaten what you have worked hard to earn and all that you own. That's why now it's more important than ever to protect your assets and have the money you need to make your dreams come true. Welcome to the Global Wealth Fortress Report with successful global entrepreneur and wealth preservation expert Joel Nagel. Joel's helped thousands of people just like you protect what you have so that you can make even more and make your every dream come true. So, sit back and enjoy Joel Nagel's offshore expert advice on how you can live the good life at a great price, where the sun never sets on your financial fortress.
My name is Joel Nagel, and I'm speaking to you this afternoon from the Pittsburgh International Airport, where I am just heading out with my two young daughters to Europe to take them back to school. They both go to school at an international school in Vienna, and we're heading out this afternoon. This evening we'll be on a flight to Portugal. Now, some people might say, well, how is that possible? The flights to Europe have been dramatically reduced or eliminated. Americans aren't allowed to go to Europe. Europeans aren't allowed to come to the U.S. And that's actually true. But one of the things we like to talk about on the Global Wealth Report is, having various options, having plan Bs. And that goes not only to your assets, things that we've been talking about like asset protection trusts, but it also applies to things like residency and citizenship. So we have a residency in several places, one of which is Portugal. So we're going to be entering Portugal through the Azore Islands. Going to fly to Boston. From Boston, we'll take a little hopper flight to a little speck of land in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's similar to the Hawaiian Islands. It's the top of mountains, very, very deep mountains that come up from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. And the top of the mountains form the Azore Islands. So we're looking forward to going there. There really hasn't been any cases of COVID reported there, and so we're looking forward to going there. We're gonna spend a few days on holiday there en route. From there, we'll head on to Lisbon, and from Lisbon, eventually we'll make it back to Vienna, Austria. So, we're sort of guinea pigs in this. The directories and the instructions about what to do and how to do it and what's open, what's not open, who can travel, those things are all a bit murky right now. But what I do know is that we have a lot more than the typical tourist because we do have residency cards. We also have alternate passports. So if the U.S. passport is not welcome, we have other options. So that's by way of background. I'm going to be talking to you over the next few days about how you can also protect yourself by having alternate passports and alternate residencies. Some of these programs have been dramatically affected and closed down because of the global pandemic. Offices aren't open, government agencies aren't open. But there are some countries that have really taken advantage of the situation to promote their own program. There have even been discounts, like specials. In the case of one Caribbean island I'll be talking about over the next few days, I guess we don't have to maintain a secret. The country I'm talking about is St. Lucia. They've always had a great called Citizenship by Investment program, but their program right now, because of coronavirus, has been marked down 50%. That just shows you how dependent they are on tourism revenues, which have really been non-existent. And so this is one mechanism whereby they can hope to attract some revenue to replace the shortfall. You can see behind me, I'm in what would normally be a very busy concourse at the Pittsburgh International Airport. It's virtually empty, few kids and people running around. It's kind of sad to see, quite frankly. My wife dropped us off a little while ago, and normally it would take anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to check in, and then travel through the security line and go through security. Then you have to take a little train to bring you over from what's called the land side to the air side, and then walk to our gate. Instead of an hour and 15 minutes today, it took us about between 7 and 8 minutes. There's virtually nobody here. The nice thing is everybody was exceptionally friendly. I think they recognize the fact that they have to, kiss up's not really the right word, but they have to be nice and kind to the few people that are left traveling in this day and age. I just read that the TSA numbers are down something like 95% year over year from this time last year. So you have 5 travelers like us, and of the 5 people traveling, virtually none of them are going to Europe. So we're going to be really a minority within a minority within a minority traveling to Europe right now. I'll make at least one more video, I hope, on the flight over to the Azores. I don't expect that flight to be very crowded either, but I'll update you, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Portuguese residency since we're headed there. I'll tell you our story, how we obtained what's called the Golden Visa. It's actually quite easy to do. You have to commit to spending 1 week per year in Portugal. And again, most residency programs, you have to spend 183 days a year to maintain your status. So we'll be talking more about St. Lucia. I'll talk about some of the other Caribbean citizenship by investment, the other European citizenship by investment. That'll be the next 3 or 4 episodes at least. And then maybe we'll get back to talking about some of the structures and strategies for protecting your wealth. So thanks again for joining me today. Hope you got some useful information out of today's episode, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow for another edition of the Global Wealth Fortress Report. Till then, I wish you health, happiness, and a wealth that cannot be destroyed. Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks for joining Joel Nagel and the Global Wealth Fortress Report, a whole new approach to asset protection and estate planning, so that now you can live the good life at a great price, where the sun never sets on your financial fortress.